This is the story of the $8 million janitor. A lot of stories about this guy on YouTube. Now here he is. They show him what he'd had for breakfast was a muffin and coffee. That's it. He wouldn't spend anything else. He drove a cheap car, and when he had to do business downtown, he parked far away where he could park for cheap. Yet, he had $8 million. There's a lot of stories like that on YouTube of wealthy people living like they're broke. I do not want to end up like that. Okay, I've spent enough of my life with living cheap, not broke, living cheap, that I don't want to do it anymore. Why do these millionaires on YouTube live cheap? It's because they've lived cheap all their life. And they slowly, not through lotto, they slowly accumulated their wealth, slowly. Yet they were brought up in a frugal existence. It became a habit. Your habit of living is probably going to be formed by the time you're 21 years of age. So these millionaires who live frugal do so because they've done it all their life. Then suddenly they come into wealth. Their money grows into wealth. They don't want to change their lifestyle. They're not cheap. It's their way they're used to living. I don't want to end up like this. I want to start spending the money that I've accumulated. I don't have a lot of things I want to do. But the few things that I do, I want to improve them. I went to the liquor store yesterday, bought 3 bottles of liquor that'll last me a month or more. But instead of buying the same ordinary brands I buy, I want to amp up my game. I bought more expensive liquor. Well, I could go on a trip and fly first class, but I've already done a video of who needs to fly first class, take a couple of melatonin, and sleep through the entire flight. Well, I probably won't go first class because I don't have any intentions of staying awake through the flight. Already, I go to any restaurant in America, I don't have to look at the menu. I order what I want, and I can pay for it. So food is no problem for me in restaurants. The next thing is I'm going to amp up my game in the hotel rooms I stay at casinos. I'm used to staying in cheap rooms in casinos. I can continue to stay in cheap rooms in casinos. But I want to amp up my game. I've got the money to spend. And even though I'm used to and happy with cheaper rooms, I am going to spend the money on better rooms. All because I do not want to end up an $8 million janitor.